So I think right now a lot of like LinkedIn has been surprisingly like popping off. Like I was surprised, like I kept hearing LinkedIn, and then I sort of went on it, and then there's like a really strong network effect where you're posting content, friends of friends are seeing it. All the recruiters are on LinkedIn, and surprisingly, all these sort of corporate people, business people, they're on it like all day long, and it's an easy way to get responses. And I'm getting people, professionals, podcast guests, they're getting back to me, like high level people are replying to me on LinkedIn where I would never get a response on email or Instagram or any other platform. So I think LinkedIn is a really amazing place where it's like a hub with just highly professional people. I've been trying to figure out and play around with the LinkedIn ads. I haven't figured it out yet. The CPMs are like maybe 2 to 3 times more expensive than Facebook, but I think it's worth it because the audience is more targeted. And I think right now LinkedIn is still untapped. Like I recently found out that you can just scrape emails using tools, and I could literally, if I want to target, say, people in the corporate sales field that are in Australia, and there's like 10,000, I could get a list of 10,000 sort of highly target qualified people to just cold email out to. So that was the biggest like hub I see, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I do get a lot of like industry updates and innovations and kind of snippets and news from LinkedIn. So in my feed, I would say I get one or two requests to connect with people like per day. Many of them might be really sort of random speculative people from emerging markets around the world, and it's probably they're getting more out of the connection than you're likely to. But as you're going in there, sort of screening those people, I tend to be, I hope I'm reasonably generous and happy for people to sort of connect into my network. But then that's when you see your news feed and you find out like people that you kind of in your network, what are they up to? And let's be honest, we're all busy people. I don't keep in contact with every single person that I've ever met in my professional career. So it's good to kind of just be reminded of like, oh yeah, that's what happened to person X. But also, yeah, today it was news about the Google I/O conference and launches and things like that. There was an article about like Jason Tonelli talking about how the Razorfish brand is being resurrected within Publicis, etc. And those are really useful snippets that come along. And then as well as like from people like yourself, where there's like, hey, you're invited to attend this like webinar, dial-in, whatever it happens to be, and those things, some of them you can't attend everything and you can't participate in everything, but something 1 in 50 or whatever really catches your eye and you're like, yeah, I'll sign myself up for that. That's probably I believe you need to be reasonably actively involved. And then for those who know me decently well, I post a reasonable number of articles on there. I don't know how many people are reading them, but it makes me feel important with myself and being able to tell myself at night that at least I'm important to myself.